Reaching you tonight from the beautiful city of Lagos, Nigeria, it's Moments Girls Talk. We host Nollywood actor and producer Ike Ogbonna. Also in the studio is media personality Dalo. All hold nothing back on the topic of the day. Stop it, I like it.
This particular person dated a guy for 11 years.
Did the guy date
They
her
were
for the
very
11 years?
serious for 11 years, and it was at the end of the 11 years, she found out the guy's been married for 5 years.
Wow.
Within the 11 years.
That's like, wow.
Right? Now, they never defined what they were doing.
And he's like, I wanted to ask you out. And I'm like, why are you telling me this now? And why didn't you say it back then? And then he said, you know, your best friend, I talked to her and then she said that you would say no.
Wow. So you think you should have told him?
That would have solved the problem.
How far is too far?
5 years in the 11,
11
years, he
years.
got married while dating her and she didn't know.
That's a wow.
Right? So everything must be defined.
Wow. Our conversation for today is very interesting. We're talking about sending mixed signals. And of course, in the studio with us is Ike and Dala.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very interesting topic because I think that Nigerian women in general, we do have a tendency we play hard to get. And just, I was taught so many things and I was told so many things that, Malala, you need to play hard to get. You know, if they feel like they got you in an easy way, they're not going to value you, you know, so you don't return the call for 2 days, you don't call for 3 days. Well, how far is too far when you're playing hard to get? You know, when the pursuit and the chase is still on. How far do you guys think is too far?
Any far is too far. Any far is too far.
Well,
Look,
easy isn't fun.
no, thing is this, that word easy isn't fun has put a lot of people in trouble, and we have so many women out there raped today, and they're too shy or scared to come and say this is what happened. You know, but rape is when you have sex with a woman without her consent.
Yeah.
And I grew up with some particular principles. My father would always tell me, when a woman is drunk and not in full authority of her senses, do not sleep with her. Even if she's asking you to sleep with her at that time, do not sleep with her. When you meet a woman for the first time, do not sleep with her, go into conversations. And I grew up with those particular, you know. At the same time, you know, you could sleep with a woman and then she wakes up in the morning and she's like, oh, did I just do that? Oh my God. You slept with me? No, it's your father that slept with you. You know, but that's what it is, you know. You don't get drunk and come to a guy's house. It's nothing like easy is to whatever.
No, but we're talking specifically about just, you know, dating. Like when you're
like
dating,
in the pursuing stage.
You're married now, but before you got married, if you're chasing somebody and she's interested in you and she's showing interest, but then she's showing disinterest. She's showing mixed signals, basically, which a lot of Nigerian women do. We've all done it at one point or another. How far is too far? Like when do you get to the point where you're like, you know what, the signals are just like, is it a red light or a green light? This woman, show me what it is that you want. How long are you willing to wait?
Truth is, some guys actually appreciate a woman more when they had to go through a lot to get her.
Why is that?
It's just the same thing in life. When you go through a lot, okay, you're working today, you pass through primary, secondary, university education, you went for your master's, you appreciate your work, you know, because you know you passed through all of this. But when you get that work just like this, you don't feel it. You don't feel the beauty in it. So sometimes that extra effort that you put in helps you appreciate something.
So what, rather than agreeing or like showing interest to a guy in 2 weeks, it should be a month or maybe 2 months?
There's no time, is there?
I mean, Dala, for you, you know, when you've been pursued by guys, how long have you made them chase you?
I can't really say how long. There's actually no definite time. It just depends on how the person comes at me. Then that depends how it goes. I read something on Twitter, the worst place to be, recently where some guy wrote, I use the ship in relationship to sail away after I've slept with you.
Oh, wow.
So things like that are a little terrifying. Because at the end of the day, some people are good actors. Okay, no pun intended. And then they come with like the best things in life and they're doing all that. And at the end of the day, it's just one thing they're after and then they sail off, literally. So I usually don't like to waste people's time. If it's not working, it's not working. There's no need to be sending mixed signals or be like, oh, I'm not going to call till 6 o'clock. I'm not going to call till 2 weeks after this. I don't feel like there's any major need for that. But that's just how, like, that's when you hear that what works for your friend. Some people just
want to try it
that
as
and
well.
just okay, you know what?
You know, it's interesting. I kind of disagree, not disagree, but I have a different perspective. I think there should be a chase.
Yes.
You
No,
know,
there should be a chase. I'm not disputing. I'm just
Trust me, I believe that the moment a woman sees how serious a guy is, you should cut the game at that point.
Yeah, but then the problem with that, is that
I figure out
you
how
don't know
serious
when
you
the
are.
How do
person
you know?
is serious
That's the
or
thing,
not,
you
because
can
a lot
never-
of men are good at acting.
You can never know if someone is the right person for you. You must try. Everything in life is a
It's
risk.
not even a matter of the right person, but that if, you know, for example, you meet a girl, you're saying, well, I really like you, I'm ready to have a relationship, etc. And the guy knows as he's meeting you, he doesn't want to have a relationship. He just wants to, you know, he wants to get there, he wants to hit it. So if she's judging him based on some of the things he does, and I don't mean he's buying her 500,000 naira weave on or spending lots of money on her, but just
effort.
some of the effort, and she misunderstands some of what he's doing as the intention of wanting a serious relationship. You can't blame the woman for thinking, okay, here's the green light.
Okay, in that case, the woman needs to go and visit her pastor. Truth
The
is
woman
this,
or the guy.
everything in life must be defined. If I want to, if I want to have you as a sleep partner, I will tell you this is what we are doing.
But that's you.
If-
But how many people are like that?
But that's the
Yeah,
thing. That's you.
but every woman should look out for that. You know, I'm not your girlfriend till you ask me out. Till you
Yeah.
ask me to be your
people
girlfriend.
ask
I am not your
ask people
fiance
out
till
nowadays
Until
in
you-
Nigeria.
yes.
till you
It's not
propose
even,
to
I'm
me.
not your girlfriend. I don't. What about I don't like you? Do you know that today, unless you open your mouth and say
And-
I like
No,
you,
no, 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 no,
I
no,
don't
no.
believe
Do you know
you
that-
like me.
do you know the
Even
funny
if
thing
your
is-
actions show, because I realized that you
Yeah.
have to define everything.
Everything.
Every
That's what
single
it's come
thing.
to.
You want to go
Have
into
to.
business today. Everything you and I discuss is word of mouth. Till you bring this and say, oh, okay, let's
Yeah.
sign. I take you
Yeah.
serious, right? So if you want to date a girl, you are my girlfriend until I say, will you marry me?
No, but
Don't
the
come and
people-
start acting
the
like
people
fiance.
But people
nowadays-
still ask
the people
because nowadays
ask
people
out. They
say,
don't. They don't
"Oh,
ask people out as much as they used to.
Or then they
They
can
don't.
hit
They
you.
don't.
You know why? You know why the reason is?
Some people do, but most
It's
people don't.
because they can wake up one day after they've messed up and then say, "But I didn't
And
ask you." out."
exactly.
Exactly.
There's this family person that I know. I don't want to state my relationship with her. Now, this particular person dated a guy for 11 years.
Did the guy date
They
her
were
for the
very
11 years?
serious for 11 years. And it was at the end of the 11 years, she found out the guy's been married for 5 years.
Wow.
Within the 11 years.
That's like, wow.
Right? Now, they never defined what they were doing. They're having sex, they're going
For
out,
11
they're
years, she
having good...
didn't know he was married for 5
No,
years.
She didn't,
yeah.
5 years in the 11,
11
years, he
years.
got married while
While
dating her
dating
and she
her.
didn't know.
That's a wow.
Right? So everything must be defined.
Wow.
So, as I'm saying, some guys would approach you with the intention of sleeping with you. Now, the way you relate to this person would change his aim
Yeah.
Okay.
into that relationship. Some people would come to you with, I want to marry this girl, this is my wife, and then along the way he realizes that this is not the girl I want, and he wants to leave, and he's thinking of how to leave.
But they don't tell
So
you.
most girls fail to understand that being yourself 100% is what's always going to work for you. When I met my wife, she showed me everything bad about her. She was smoking, she was drinking at that time. She never cooked for me for one day. But she was a wonderful person. We had wonderful conversations. She gives me the best advice. She would always motivate me and give me that extra energy to move on in life as a man, right? And I fell in love with those things. And I was like, damn, you know, whatever it is, smoking, drinking, whatever it is, I would handle it. But then the day I got married to her, that was the first day she cooked for me, without me asking her. She's a wonderful cook. Everything changed from then henceforth. And then I asked her, why did you keep all these things away from me before we got married? She said, because I wanted a man that can handle my worst. Because if you can handle my worst, that means my best wouldn't be a problem.
I like your
All
wife.
right. On that note,
I'm
we're gonna
married,
just
I like
have
your
to,
wife.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
I like your
I might
wife.
have to rethink how I do this
That's
whole
on
thing.
your worst behavior.
You know exactly what
Yeah, yeah.
behavior. All right, this conversation is going to continue. Very, very interesting.
So a
If a
guy
man is
is
between-
dating you and he's above 30 years, he has a stable income, he's gone past 1 year and he hasn't as much as told you, you are my future wife. That means he
Not
doesn't have a
girlfriend.
future for you, he's enjoying the sex, he's enjoying your company,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to lose it to somebody else, he's wasting your time.
You're watching Moments Girls Talk, and we're talking about relationships sending mixed signals. With us in the studio are Dala and Ike. Ike said something very interesting before the break about his wife, that she had not cooked for him until they had gotten married. Now, your wife is from Colombia. Just listening to you say that, I'm trying to imagine how a Nigerian man would react to that if he was dating a Nigerian woman, because usually they want to know that you can cook. before they even marry you. But I don't want to focus just on the aspect of marriage, because we're talking about dating in general.
Yeah.
And before the break, Bolanle had also said that in Nigeria, after moving here, you almost kind of learn that you have to send mixed signals to keep his interest. You also confirm that if you're going to get something too easy, you need to chase. So there's the aspect of, okay, if you're a woman living in Nigeria, as a Nigerian woman, you need to play hard to get a little bit, because otherwise it'll be too easy for him and he will lose interest. So you can show you're interested, but not show it too much, right? Right? So that in itself is saying, oh, go ahead and show the mixed signals.
You know what I think? Handle people individually as they come. If you meet IK today, IK is different from Uti, right?
Obviously.
Now, if I come to you in this particular way, I'm friendly, I'm this, that, I joke a lot, then you react to what I'm giving you and give me the feedbacks that would fit in what I'm giving you. Now, if you give the feedbacks that you should give IK to an Uti, it might not work that way.
Of course.
So when you come with a program, things will never really work that way for you. When you meet someone, try to understand the person, observe the person for a little while. After a brief conversation, you can tell 20% of what that or who that person is. From there, you can move forward.
Okay, what would your advice be? Like, how long should a woman, because it's predominantly women that find themselves in this situation of sending mixed signals, how long should a woman be waiting for to watch him and assess, okay, what exactly does this guy want?
As long as your mind tells you yes. You would know when that yes comes in. It's just like when you're drinking and
So
then...
it's no fixed time. It's not like, oh, observe him for 2
There's
months,
this
6 months, 8
particular
months.
thing here. When you're drinking alcohol, it gets to a point where your brain will tell you the next glass will get you drunk.
Done,
I like that.
Right? So when you're dating a girl, from time to time, okay, can I just say this, right? One of the hardest decisions I had to make in my life was that question, would you marry me? Right? I always knew one day I'm going to get married. Now, dating my girlfriend at that time, I knew, I want to marry this girl. Now, one day we're together and I think of, should I just buy a ring? I think I want to marry. I really, really want to marry this girl. I had that conviction, this is my wife, right? And I go, I get the ring and I come. There's another phase again between kneeling down and giving her that ring. Your mind will pass through 5 million.
Really?
Yeah, you're thinking, okay, Ike, once you do this, it's done. All right, so should you? Then when you now finally do it, now, there's a different feeling that you would have between when you propose to when you get married. It's a long process, a long mental process for that guy. And even when you get married, before you even start having kids and every other thing, because at this point, this is my wife, a lot of things will change about you. But in between this circle, you would know when you have to take the next step at every point in time.
So what you're saying is that for most men, there is a process to each step. What's interesting is that
mental process.
Yes, mental process. For most women, once you know in your mind, I want to marry him, you're just waiting for him to propose, and then you're thinking, okay, let's do the wedding. You're not thinking, am I sure that I still want to marry this person? You've already gone.
You're not even thinking about what he's thinking.
No,
After he's
which is the
proposed,
interesting
after
thing.
you
We don't
get the
think
ring,
about
your
fact.
brain just goes into planning mode.
You're
like-
planning.
So I love
That's
the fact that you're
But
actually
one thing
explaining
is,
the way men think.
I
'cause
believe
we don't even
that you
think
should
they
marry
think
your
that way.
best friend, right? If you're my best friend, I should be able to share whatever it is with you.
Yeah.
Now, I said something behind the camera and I'll say it again. Between 25 and 30 years, if a guy is not married and he's dating you for that long time, he can be excused. But from 30 years old, you're working, you have a stable income, you should be thinking of marriage. Now, from that age for a guy, if you're dating a girl and you've gone more than 1 year and you've not as much as given her that belief that you guys will be together, the girl should leave the relationship.
Okay, I think I would like you to repeat that.
No, and I completely agree.
viewers.
And the reason why I agree with him is because I've noticed it's interesting. I have a few guy friends who, once they're 30, their brains click, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "I'm gonna get married."
You know,
And
I want to be
within
married.
a year,
True,
they get married.
but there are a lot of men that are over 30 that are in their 40s that don't do that,
They're not
and they
even
date
trying.
people for several
Michelle,
years.
those people
The girls
do
are
not
wasting
want to
their
get
time.
married.
They don't
That's the
want
point.
to
That's
get
the point.
married.
So I
Do
want
not.
the women that are watching this
Yeah.
to
To
understand.
realize.
So please repeat that
A
to
guy-
the cameras.
A guy at 40 can still go and marry a girl of 19 years, right?
Yes.
But
No
in a society
problem.
where we fall in, once a woman is above 30, guys are now looking for younger girls.
Yeah.
That's the plain truth.
No, but what you
so
said before,
if
so
a
if a
guy
man
is
is
dating you and he's above 30 years, he has a stable income, he's gone past 1 year and he hasn't as much as told you, you are my future wife. that means he
Not
doesn't have a
girlfriend.
future for you. He's enjoying the sex. He's enjoying your company.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose it to somebody else. He's wasting your time. Leave him, and then if he really wants you, he will come back with the right question and have you.
And that's
Thank
probably
you,
why we're playing
Ike.
hard to get. Well, now
Thank you
comment.
thank you
Now
very
start-
much for
Then you
clarifying
now
that.
start the drama.
I've loved talking about this. Unfortunately, we're running out of time
Yeah.
with this particular subject. We could talk about it forever.
Yeah.
And your input has been, I think, a lesson for all of us because
I've just been looking at him all starstruck,
and I've been
like,
taking
oh my God.
mental notes. I hope you guys that are watching at home have
Yeah.
been taking mental notes as well. Coming up shortly, we'll be moving on with more of this topic.
And then we were chatting, and then he said, I want to tell you something. And then I said, what? And he's like, I wanted to ask you out. And I'm like, why are you telling me this now? And why didn't you say it back then? And then he said, you know, your best friend, I talked to her, and then she said that you would say no.
Wow.
So you think you should have told him?
That would have solved the problem.
All right, welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. It's now time for our question of the day. And it says, what are good ways of showing a man or a woman you're interested in him or her without seeming desperate? How do you show them that you like them without just...
Do you want to go?
I did something once, and it was the very first time that I did it. I've never chased a man before. Maybe I should start doing that. I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to. But there was a guy that I had been friends with for quite a few years, and he was somebody that was not very good at expressing his emotions. I knew this as we were friends, and you know, I had moved here. He had been coming back and forth between Lagos and London. And so he would always check up on me, etc., see that I was okay. And I just thought, okay, we're friends. We knew each other in London, etc. But all of a sudden it was, you know, it was happening more frequently. So I'm thinking, okay, is this man interested in me? I don't know if he is or not. So he never said it. And maybe about a year later, when I started developing feelings for him, I was talking to a friend of mine. She said, Michelle, just let him know, not ask him out, but let him know that you like him, that you know you want to hang out, etc. So it took me a week to sum up the courage. I won't lie, it took me a week to sum up the courage to do it. And as I was saying, you know, I really like you. I would like to spend some more time with you, etc. I was just thinking, oh, he's going to reject me. It's going to be over. I'm going to be embarrassed. But he responded in the completely opposite way, and we dated. The relationship didn't work out. We're still friends, but the fact that I did it, I was happy and he was happy. He said, I was waiting for you to say something. I said, well, why didn't you? And he had said to me, you know that I'm emotionally crippled. I have a problem expressing myself. So I was hoping that you would understand that I was interested in you and you would give me the green light. And I was thinking, well, how did I know that you were interested? You didn't show it. So I was glad in that instance. And he didn't chase me, I would say. So it wasn't so obvious. But I expressed that I was interested, and it wasn't like, okay, I'm really desperate. I was nervous, but I did it, and I was glad I did it.
Okay, so something similar happened to me a couple years ago. There was this guy that I really liked. I remember when I was a kid, I used to write down like the list of what like the ideal guy would be. He should be able to dance, rap, sing. You know that. You know that time. Exactly. That time when you had that list, he should be able to play basketball.
Should be 6 foot tall.
I know. Dark, tall, handsome. So this was actually summer school, and it hurt me so much that I still remember it till now.
Okay.
So I saw this guy. He was in my summer lesson, and then he was the entire thing. I remember the one day that he asked me to draw something on his arm with like a tattoo pen. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God. And I was trying to look calm at the same time, like, yeah, I got this. Like, but I was boiling inside. So then I had a best friend back then. And she knew that I liked him, and it was her school. I was just coming to the school, so she knew him better. And then she knew that I liked him. Like break time, I would go wait for him to play basketball, and then I would just be freaking out all the time every time he was there. And then summer school finished, everyone went back home. I never said anything, right? And then one day he goes back to the US, and then we're chatting. You know that time that your landline is still connected to the wall, and then you still had to sign in and wait for it to load.
Yeah.
And then we were chatting, and then he said, I want to tell you something. And then I said, what? And he's like, I wanted to ask you out. And I'm like, why are you telling me this now, and why didn't you say it back then? And then he said, you know, your best friend, I talked to her, and then she said that you would say no.
Wow.
So you think you should have told him?
That would have solved the problem.
Yes.
Well, I have a belief in life that
I think you should have.
life is a process of building experiences.
The friend obviously stopped that from happening.
Yeah, because she told him that she spoke to me,
But then
And
your friend knew that you were interested in
she
him.
was very
Clearly,
aware.
she didn't want that to happen.
She was very aware. So
So
Bad
basically,
friend you
you're
have
saying
there.
show some sort of interest.
Yes.
I think
without
I
appearing
did
desperate.
show interest, but the thing is, I never said to him, "Oh, I."
But you
think
didn't show. Maybe you didn't show it in a way that he understood it. Because drawing
Well,
something.
I
in his
was
hand
I was
doesn't
running.
mean-
No, I was running. No, I used to. It was so many things. Like I would drop him off on my way back home, call him. He was always calling. It was cool, but it just never progressed.
no. So at this now, the way I show I'm interested in you is that I pick up your call.
That to you shows.
Girl,
You
you
know,
pick up
funny
everyone.
thing
you
is
pick up
this, right?
everybody's phone
Not
call.
everybody.
You pick up
everyone's
Michelle,
phone
I
call.
do not
If
pick
work
up
is
every-
calling you,
every-
you will pick it up. If I
If
call you,
anyone
you pick
knows
up the
me,
phone.
everyone knows I do not pick up everyone's call.
But
If I
that's
pick
the
up
thing,
your
they don't
call,
know.
we're good.
Okay,
that's
I
enough.
believe in
That's
I believe in
enough.
one thing. It's called
Word.
building up
Wow.
experiences, right? Everything that happens to you is an experience, and use those experiences to live the rest of your life. I care
Yeah.
about today. I don't know about tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, I would face it.
Yeah.
For a girl, I believe if you like, in over 100%, 80% of guys, 80% of the people out there who are guys have what they want because they've seen a girl they want and they got her. Then the remaining 30% are girls that are lucky to have the kind of guy that they wanted.
Yeah.
I use the word lucky because they didn't go for it. I believe if you see a guy you like, walk up to him, I like you, and leave it at that.
That one I did.
No, see, that's I
A guy
like
you like that you don't know.
It's an honest
No,
truth
but hold
here.
on, a guy that you like that you don't know at all.
Do you know? I would appreciate it if a girl walks up to me. Well, not now.
Not now.
No,
obviously.
So the girl comes to me and say, "Ike, I like you. I
Just
really
like
do
that.
like
Wouldn't
you."
you think she was a
and
bit
that's
too
it.
forward?
And she ends it at that place and leave me to do the rest. Make no move again. Don't
But why
make
would
no
you chase
move.
her if she's told you in that way, hey, I like you, and you don't know her from a can of
Come with confidence and tell me you like me. And I know, okay, she likes me. I
You
do
know
like
what?
her.
This is
Leave it
a
at that, and then
completely separate
let the
topic,
guys
which
do the
we're
rest.
gonna have to have Ike come back home because I don't know about that. But before we let you guys go, we ask that you share something that no one knows about you, a celebrity secret. It can be anything, a habit.
I have a crush, a very big crush.
On who?
Candy, Candy
Can't-
Crush, yes.
That joke didn't crack.
Seriously.
Ike. Couldn't work.
Okay, seriously.
Okay,
Can
so
I beat
you know,
IK
you
with
know
this
what?
joke?
you're addicted to Candy Crush?
Who's that?
Are you really addicted to Candy? Are you like one of those people who like whenever you turn around, it's like Candy Crush, Candy?
Yeah, like
How
I go
how
to
many
go back
hours a
and,
day do you spend on it?
well, now it's a bit better. It was very
You're
bad
going to
that
therapy for
I
your
used to
Candy
change the
Crush
time on my phone to other time so that I can continue playing.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's just that bad.
Wow, okay, that's serious. That's a serious addiction.
What about you, Della?
Speaking about having crushes, or the topic today in general, coming out to
You
someone.
can just say it now so he would know, and
Okay.
it's not like you're asking him out.
Okay.
Go ahead, girl.
I'm actually.
Banky W.
Oh,
I hope
God.
it's somebody here.
Let her
Says I have a-
say it.
I have a
Who
crush
is the
on,
best
like,
in- who is the best in
Hayden
that? Who is it?
Christensen or something.
Speak,
that's abroad.
sister. Who
No,
is
it's
it?
not who I have a crush on, it's who I'm in a relationship with.
Who are you dating?
So I'm about to reveal. I thought we were going to do it together. We were supposed to do it together, but I'm Bobrisky's bae.
Excuse me?
Thank you, Dalla and IK for
I'm
coming
serious.
on the show.
Bobrisky, I love you.
Okay, it's been great having you on the show. I was expecting
I was
like some
so excited.
juicy. I'm Bobrisky's bae. I'm like,
Yeah. Acting skills on point.
really?
No, but seriously, thank you guys for coming on Moments Girls Talk. We're gonna let it slide that you didn't release it.
Can I
Oh,
just say
that's my
one
secret.
thing before I
I'm-
go?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no means no, yes means yes. If a girl says no,
Yeah.
don't force her. I mean, every girl knows when she wants to have sex and when she doesn't want to have sex. Even if she's saying the no, and she's allowing you, she
Shifting.
said no. No is no, okay? Wait for the yes, consent, and then
Consent
Is that
also when
consent
you're
also
sober,
you're
like
dating-
you said
when you're-
earlier.
As well as when you're just dating.
even when you are married,
Because you're mentioning,
if
you're
your wife doesn't want
no,
to
but I
have
mean,
sex,
because you're
don't force her.
mentioning
It's
sex
your right, but I mean,
specifically.
Yeah.
But I think it's try not to send mixed signals, whether it's to do with sex, whether it's not to do with sex. Like you said earlier, you don't want to waste anybody's time.
Yeah.
If you don't want to waste somebody's time, especially with women, don't waste the guy's time. You
Yeah.
let him take you out. He'll take 5 of your friends out over several months, and you know you're not interested in him. You're wasting the guy's time.
So just so you all know, if something is for you, it's for you. There's no reason why you have to chase it so much. If someone's giving you mixed signals, then maybe that's what it is. If she says yes, it's yes. If he says no, it's no. And then you move on. You find that all the relationships that you've had that didn't work out, you probably don't even remember about them anymore.
Amen to that, sister.
Amen to that.
Thank you guys so much for coming on
Thank
the show.
you.
Thank you for
so much.
having
Thank you for
us.
being
Thank
honest.
you.
And thank you also for teaching us something.
I learned
that
so much
we
from
didn't
you
know.
today.
We've taken mental notes. Honestly, no, seriously, Ike, thank you for that.
I'm like
I hope,
this
I hope
right
some
now.
of the women that are watching at home have also taken note of what Ike has been saying.
Especially with the 30 part, because I know that's
True. If he is over
Over
30
30.
and he has been
Over
dating
30,
you
he's dating you
for
more
more
than a year,
than 1 year.
and he still hasn't said,
And he
I
still
want
hasn't
to.
said, I want you, I want to marry
Bounce,
you.
sister.
I'm thinking about getting engaged to you, and he's not talking about including you in his life. It is time to go.
It's time to cut it.
It is
And if
time
he
to
really
cut
wants
it.
you,
Cut it.
remember to say, if he really wants you, he would come back with the right question.
Thank you, I like that bit. And there you have it. We've learned a lot. I hope that you have learned a lot.
Moments was brought to you by Axis Bank W Initiative.